This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 393.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have one coming up in a few weeks. It's a little ahead of time, but I'm going to mention it because it's WordCamp US. It's the big granddaddy of them all, if you will. It's a one-day event, October 1st. It's free. Register for it, participate, get your snacks, and let's have a great October 1st is WordCamp US. That is it for upcoming events. Moving on, segment one in the news. A couple things to talk about here. I think there's one, two, or three. Oh, yeah, a couple here. Anyway, first and foremost, Andrea Middleton is leaving Automattic. 10 years of amazing work ethic and service, if you will, to the community team. She is by far one of the coolest human beings in the world, not just at Automattic or WordPress community, but in the world. She's heading to Reddit. She's accepted a community role there. I'll put a link in the show notes for her blog post. And so I'm going to miss her. She's awesome. Seriously cool person. Really, really, really cool. So congratulations to Andrea for, pivoting in her career. So there's that. Also in the news, there is going to be a 5K. It's the Worldwide WordPress 5K 2021. Just found out about this late. It's over at www.pk5k.run, which is kind of cool. So it's October 1st through the 31st. It's a virtual 5K. Do it whenever you want or can. Treadmill, track, just get out there and do it. And I'm gonna try to see if I can't do this. The reason I say try is because as of the day that this episode comes out, which will be the 6th of September, will be 5 weeks since my foot was broken, and it's gonna be the first day that I'm gonna go walk without the boot that I've been wearing. So I have to go slow. I can't run for a few more weeks, I'm sure, but there's that. What else in the news? Oh, yeah. Automattic has made another acquisition. They acquired a company called Frontity. They're the company behind the open source framework for building WordPress themes with React. I guess they're going to be going down the path of working on the full site editor developer experience. So that's pretty cool. I'll put a link in the show notes there as well. So congratulations to the team that was acquired. And is that in the news? Yeah, that's it in the news. Okay, moving on. Segment 2, the meat potatoes of this week's episode. I am talking about WordPress hosting options. Way back on episode 112, 113, I think, maybe both. I mentioned a change in my hosting strategy way back then. It's been a long time, obviously. And then over a few days after that episode came out, I got some feedback about where was I, where did I go, what happened. And I did a blog post about it, and it's still on the website, and it still gets traffic. But it's been a long time since that episode. And it's now been a year since I made some changes from last year to now to a server hack. September last year, I had a bad hack on one of my servers. Client sites were popping up and down. It was like whack-a-mole. And once again, right now, I find myself making some changes, not to that server, and nothing from a perspective of anything bad, per se, rather a cost-saving strategy at the moment. We'll come back to that in a minute. First and foremost, I want to talk about WordPress hosting options and kind of give you my opinion on that, and then we'll go from there a little bit. So first and foremost, I found 4 types of WordPress hosting. Shared hosting, VPS, which stands for Virtual Private Server, Dedicated Server, and a Managed Server. So now what's the difference in all those? Well, shared hosting, start with that, the low-hanging fruit, if you will. Great for beginner sites, low traffic, usually very affordable, very inexpensive, but to some extent has limited resources. A lot of these sites say that you can put unlimited sites on there and unlimited traffic, but there is a cap eventually. I remember at one point I used to use a shared hosting server for a class I was teaching, and one of my students put up a video, and I got shut down overnight. So it's not unlimited traffic in that sense. I told the student from that point on to host your video somewhere else, like Vimeo or YouTube or Wistia, and that was the problem solved. So on shared hosting, you might have up to 25 to 50 different websites on the same server. And if one server gets hacked, which is what happened to me, a year ago, it's really easy for the hacker to kind of infect the sideline sites, like anything that's sitting on the same server, relatively simple to just kind of hop over to the other sites as well. So that is not ideal. Some shared hosting is fine, some it isn't. It just depends on, what level of shared hosting. So keep that in mind. Second one here is VPS, Virtual Private Server. Now, this is really for those who want full control of the server. It's not quite 100% your own. There are less clients per server, but you really, it's a much safer space, if you will. It's more of your own little bubble in that shared, in that server space, in that rack, if you will. So, and it costs more than shared hosting. Next level up would be dedicated WordPress server. You own the box. It's all you. No one else is there. Matter of fact, you can actually lease space to others. You could resell it, unlike doing an affiliate sale, but this would be your own company doing hosting for other people. And it's much more expensive than a VPS and a lot more than shared as well. So keep that in mind. There's an investment there. And lastly, there's managed WordPress servers. And now this is where things are optimized for speed by somebody else and security, and they're backed up for you. And they have amazing technical support. They're all great things. Now, the con, that's the pro. The con here is you have a lot less technical control, which is fine on one aspect because you may not want to worry about that. And it can be really pricey. Now, you have to pick and choose which one's going to work for you the best. Now, there are plenty of blog posts out there that say which is the best service and the best choice. And that's great. There's been reviews in nauseam about the different companies. I'm not here to pick or choose or bash any specific company. What I want to tell you, though, is that those blog posts very possibly have affiliate links behind them, which is totally fine. Just be aware of that they may be, leading you down a direction, giving you their opinion, but at the same time making a commission on that sale. I mean, heck, on KitchensinkWP, my resources page, I have hosting companies there too. And yes, they're affiliate links, but those are the ones I use or I have used and that I still trust. And I update that pretty much every year. It's going to get updated again this week, so keep that in mind. So what I did recently change, well, let me first state out that I've been very fortunate in the past like 5, 6, 7 years. I've been given a lot of things for free, from software, tools, SaaS services, and hosting to try out and to kind of report about it and see how it goes. And I've also done some trades in the past too. I've traded sponsorship on this podcast for hosting at one point. And that said, my account that was currently over at another shared hosting platform is coming up for renewal. And I like the people there. I mean, I knew the people there. My contacts there have all left. So that's a thing. On that blog post I made 7 or 8 years ago, I indicated that I kind of go with people who I know, like and trust. It's about, friendships and relationship based is how I like to work with people. So that was back at episode 112, 113. Things have different now. And what irks me now is since I have no connection to these companies on a personal level, to renew is about $475 versus if it's a new customer, it's $175. And well, sure, I could play the game. I could buy a new account, move my sites over every year. And that's not really worth my time. Because I could save $300, but in this specific case, 99% of the sites that I had there were for development and staging, just like side hustle stuff, basic little things. So I went ahead and invested in a managed server for my clients last year. If you remember that, I went ahead and invested at that level because I want to take that off of my plate from a responsibility and a stress aspect. And on this new server that I set up recently, I found something that works for me. It helps me get what I needed done. Again, it's affordable and reliable web speeds, etc. So my recommendation, well, I would go with a company that works for your specific needs, your support, your security levels, your server type, and the pricing. It's all important, and it really depends on what you're trying to do with your website. So you need to feel comfortable in that choice because it's something you're going to be with for at least a year, if not many years to come. Even the interface that you log into to create new sites, to the settings, it needs to make sense to you how to use it. If it doesn't, then you're going to be frustrated and you're just going to have a bad taste in your mouth about the whole industry at large. So there is no perfect web hosting. Far from it. It's always about trade-offs. So just keep that in mind. If you want any more information, reach out, let me know, and I'd be happy to give you some advice in that way as well. So, all right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week's tip it's a website called TextMechanic.com. It's TextMechanic.com. It allows you to make changes to text in a browser-based window. You can add line breaks, you can remove breaks, add a prefix or suffix to a line, count characters, find and replace text. Pretty cool. It's free. And I saw this, I think my friend Tara Clays had mentioned this in a Slack group that we were chatting about different tools and stuff. It's free, pretty cool. Check it out. It's over at TextMechanic.com. I have no connection to them except that it's kind of neat. Check it out. All right, let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use that SpeakPipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, you can become a Patreon, KitchensinkWP.com/Patreon. You can sponsor the show. There's a form on the website for that as well. If you're looking for some business ideas and coaching, accountability, or web hosting info, hit me up over at adamsilver.com. Actually, not really the web info, but if you need business coaching or ideas or accountability, adamsilver.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.